are you not saying categorically before crossing variant, because people need to know the truth? This is people's government. That the 2,363 never made it to the payroll.
That is not what I'm saying.
Okay.
They never made it to the nominal role.
Okay, never made it to the nominal role.
Which is under the office of the head of service. I didn't invite one person. Listen to me, I said, I asked the chairman that because this approval came late, subject it to the new governor for revalidation. I got a similar thing from the governing council of the College of Education, as I have told you earlier. And I subjected it to him by doing a memo. And it was not, the revalidation was not granted on grounds that over 80% of the people who were recruited by the governing council were from one local government. And that it to be fair, to follow the federal character and then do spread, which I also believe that that's the right way to go.
Well, if you're just joining us, the program is Inside Cross River. On this program, we'll let you know on everything going on in Cross River State. And of course, Cross River is the only state we have. We have to guide it jealously. And the issue of the payroll is critical. Because when it comes to payroll, that affects the destinies of people. And that also gives a huge challenge to the government of the day. That's why we must get it right. All right, so sir, I want you to also give clearance to other issues. Now, people need to understand what should be the way forward. You said that the governor has gotten it right.
Yes.
But if he's getting it right,
yes.
Why are we still having...
No. The governor, the current government,
yes,
is taking the right steps.
Okay.
There has been personnel audit.
Mm-hmm.
You understand me? Mm-hmm. And then there is also BVN verification, which has been done across board, including retirees. So when, of course, there will be streamlining of all those. That's why I was not, I didn't like the way the former Auditor General, jumped and went to radio. When government, already is closing in on that matter. It's closing in on that matter.
So he went to the radio on a personal level? Or was he asked to go to the radio? Was that a personal decision to go to the radio? Because you have said that he would have waited.
No, what I'm saying
He's no longer part of government.
No, what I'm saying is that
yes,
I am also not in government. Okay. I'm retired.
Okay.
You understand me? Like he has also left office.
Yes.
We will come to why my name is being dragged into all these matters. We will come to that one. If you are a principal officer of government, mm-hmm. whether in or out of office, you exercise caution. We are all here in Cross River State. If anything is traced to me, I will be invited to give explanations. So you wait. You don't preempt the exercise. When you preempt the exercise, it will mean that there is something you are, afraid of. There is impending matter which you are afraid of.
All right.
So, yes.
Okay, so this nominal role, payroll dichotomy, what is the way forward?
Way forward is simple. By the time this exercise, the government completes this exercise, the nominal role, which is domiciled in the office of head of service, the head of service should generate the payroll and send it to Auditor General. And Auditor General will do his own due process mm-hmm. as an ombudsman. After that, he passes it on to the Accountant General. Okay, so there are three different institutions.
The status quo ante should...
You reverse to the status quo ante. So that you will not say the head of service doesn't know anything about the management of the payroll. The contribution of the head of service is that at the end of each month, you send update. Oh, delete this one because this one has retired. This one has changed union from this union to this one. This one staff has been posted from Ministry of Justice to this. Those are the communications that come from the Office of Head of Service to the manager of the payroll. The head of service does not manage the payroll. If the head of service were managing the payroll, why would the head of service now do update to the manager of payroll to now delete those who have retired? So that's
all of that would have been checked.
Yes.
Okay, so now that we are saying there are some people who have nicodemously found their way to the payroll and they are not in the nominal role, to reverse the status quo ante, what would those names What would they do with those? Are they
Because-
flushing them out?
No, I cannot say that. All you need to do is that the government should reconcile nominal role with the payroll. It will help.
In your opinion, these people that got their way to the payroll without being in the nominal role, what happens?
I would not be in a position to
Answer that.
What I'm saying is that there are persons in the payroll that are not in the nominal role.
So what do they do with them? Your own recommendation, sir.
My own recommendation is that the government should reconcile the nominal role with the payroll.
Okay, well, that is just, if you are just joining us, this is Inside Crossover. And of course, I know we'll get the situation where the people on the street will do a vote poll and hear the opinion of people as well regarding this issue, because I know that a lot of people are paying attention to what is going on and to help the governor to achieve the objective of building a Cross River State of our dream and giving the people of Cross River State a season of sweetness. All right, so let's go further to talk about the allegation that you embezzled 50 million and you were given 24 hours to revert and return the money. So what actually happened?
That is an empty allegation.
Okay.
Empty allegation.
So what actually happened?
What happened was that in 2020, the Ministry of Climate Change, under the headship of Ntufam Donatus Etum, applied to the then governor. You know, there was embargo on logging.
Okay.
So people were logging illegally. And then the commissioner wrote a memo to the then governor and said that, look, let us carry out a sting operation and go to all the communities. Anybody who has logged illegally, the government will seize the wood, compound offense, and ask them to pay fine. The governor approved. So the person who got the approval was my commissioner. Then I was permanent secretary, Ministry of Climate Change. So what did we do? The commissioner who applied to the governor and got that approval now held a management meeting, and we said nobody should be paid 1 kobo. So we floated 2 accounts. One account, forestry fees and forestry fines and fees. And then the other account, the Ministry of Climate Change and Forestry, capital account. So those who went to the field, about 26 officers from forestry went to the field, and they compounded offenses, and every offense, when they say compound offense, if they catch you cutting, you have sawn timber illegally, they will now come up and say, this is market value, 500,000, multiply it by 3. The person will pay 1.5 million as punishment to serve as a deterrent. So I did not go to the field. I was not part of the team. But everybody who went to the team as they compounded offenses, they paid into the 2 accounts. Tellers were given to us. Audit say the amount that we had said we generated there was a shortfall. I said, no, there was no shortfall because everything was paid to the bank. I was the one who even said, photocopy all the tellers and give to audit. You understand me? It was advisory that transfer the amount that is in Ministry of Climate Change capital account to forestry fees and fines. And that was done on the 22nd of June 2020. The ministry did not receive query. The commissioner did not receive query. The permanent secretary did not receive query. Nobody carried this matter to the House of Assembly for us to be prosecuted by the Public Accounts Committee. Why was this is it? The transfer was effected on the 22nd.
Can you zoom on this?
Signed by the commissioner, signed by myself, and that ended everything. It ended everything. So why would Jonode now raise this issue? 1 kobo was not missing.
So where is this money today?
So the money was transferred to forestry fees and fines to government designated account.
Okay.
And nobody gave anybody any query. So why did he wait for 4 years to now come and say the head of service, when he was in forestry, wanted to embezzle?
What was the money eventually missing?
The money was not missing.
Okay.
The money was not missing. I gave the tellers all to auditors. When they went, they discovered that all the monies were in the various banks. And they did a mop-up to whatever account that they said. Nobody collected 10 kobo. The ministry was not indicted. Ode had audited the ministry's account in 2020. No indictment. Nobody's name was sent to the House of Assembly. Then you now went to a radio and mentioned somebody. And let me tell you why he mentioned me, why he thinks that I deserve to have my own reputation dented. I will tell you. John Ode came into service in 1988 as a messenger on level 1 or 2. You understand me? And then the originating affidavit of age, which the father deposed to, said he was born 1960. It was mutilated to 1967. And then, not only that, in 2022, he wrote to me that the mother, who is an Igbo woman who did not get married to the father, had now come to tell him that he was born 1972. I should change the record. So, establishment wrote to him that you started work in 1988 and you are retiring next year based on 35 years of age. So the age is no longer relevant. You are going anyway based on years of service. He took offense. And then another one again, when the chairman, Civil Service Commission, wrote to him to proceed on retirement, he wrote a compendium and attached so many documents, including court cases, and sent to the governor why he should not go until he would need to be 60 years of age. That attempt to falsify his age over and over again was for him to remain in office, because the Cross River State audit law had left out the fact that 35 years of service and now said when you are 60 years of service. And that is inconsistent with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So he brought, attached even court cases in Sokoto. So the current governor, His Excellency Senator Prince Basso too, minuted to me for advice. Before the governor's memo got to me, I got calls from all over the country that I should protect John. His matter now was in my hand. His matter now was in my hand. I got calls. I said, I have not even gotten the governor's correspondence. When eventually the correspondent came, and I saw that he anchored heavily on legal matters, quoting the Constitution, quoting the audit law that came out in 2021, and then he was appointed 2020. Can a law have a retrospective effect? It cannot. So now I said, what would I do? It is very, very important when the governor said, advise me. You must give advice that will guide the government.
Sure.
So what I did was that I wrote a memo to Minister of Justice. Please go through all this and give me a legal opinion so that I can forward to His Excellency. When I got the legal opinion, I did a covering letter to His Excellency. Your Excellency, your memo dated this refers. Because the Auditor General, anchored heavily on legal matters, I'd had to refer it, to Minister of Justice, attached here with their own legal opinion for your further necessary action. The next day, I don't know, the governor invited him thereafter when I submitted the opinion to him. The next day, he came and wrote that he was withdrawing that previous letter, now ready to go on leave, on retirement.
Okay.
So he feels that the chairman of the Civil Service Commission asked him to go, and I would have advised the governor not to allow him to go. But I only forwarded a legal opinion that was sent through me. So those are some of the reasons why my name would be used in the radio. A time will come when we will now seek legal option.
What reason he actually left. He actually left government peacefully. Why do you think he chose now to go to the press?
It's simple. The outcome of the recent verification exercise, the criminal insertions in the payroll are almost manifest.
Okay.
You understand me? So he wants to curry favor from the public, unsuspecting public. You understand? That's why he will go to drop this person's name, drop the other person's name, drop this other person's name. Why?
But like the question I asked the chairman of the suspended chairman of Civil Service Commission, can somebody be guilty and still be the whistleblower?
Well, that's the question you should ask the whistleblower.
Can you be guilty and still be the whistleblower?
No, like the one he said that I attempted to embezzle money. If the ministry did not embezzle money, the commissioner did not embezzle money, and nobody touched money, how would he say so on radio? Why? It's because of one reason. He knows how I left the service. He knows how he left the service. I left the service, I was celebrated. I was officially pulled out, you understand me, with an encomium. How did he leave? He left Nicodemously. So how would you now allow this Akwaji, to walk the streets of Calabar and then interface with the service with his soldiers' race? So let's smear him.
So now it's just a personal vendetta.
Absolutely. You have seen it.
All right, so that's interesting. We've heard a lot and I've learned a lot, and I know that the people of Cross River State have gotten some answers to what is going on with the padding of the payroll and all the issues involved. We are getting clarity systematically, and of course we'll get to the crux of the matter. We get to talk to everybody involved to hear their standpoint. We've been interacting with the former head of service of Cross River State. Of course, it's been a lot of things. He was he's a veteran journalist, and of course, and did so well as head of service. I was part of the process that led to his retirement. I want to say congratulations for always being there to provide his adversary services to the government and the people who come to seek for that and all of that. And for this interview, I want to say thank you as well. Before we go, what will be your personal message to the people of Cross River State? Because we cannot afford to be having a gullible public. We need people that will be giving this necessary information to keep them abreast of what is happening, so that they'll be informed to know what is happening and how to be part of the process.
Maybe because I'm a journalist, I don't take a position when I hear from one person.
Okay.
You understand me? As far as I'm concerned, when you listen to one person, no matter the level and the weight of the allegation, give the other person the opportunity
sure.
To say his
Like
own.
I said, we are going around.
You understand
to everybody,
me?
yeah.
So when you now give the other person the opportunity and he comes up with his own version, then you, the listener, you, the viewers, will be more informed to take your own decision. You understand me? That's why I had to grant this interview. If you see me, even though I'm a media man, I don't rush into granting interviews. And the essence of this was for me to clear the air. You understand me? I know government is doing something regarding the humongous wage bill.
All right, so my very last question will be, can you state categorically before this camera that you've done nothing wrong? That your hands are clean?
100%.
Your hands are clean?
Are clean, 100%.
All the allegations are false?
All the allegations are false. I didn't take 10 kobo. That's number one. Number two, I did not put one person in the nominal role throughout the 5,000 approval by ESCO and the recruitment process. Not even one person. Not even one person in the nominal role. Anybody who found his way in the payroll, ask the payroll manager how he got that when the head of service did not invite anybody for biometrics and did not put anybody in the nominal role. How do you know you are a civil servant? First, not because you are receiving salary. First, because you are documented in the office of the head of service.
So the consultants that handled the official payment, you didn't interface with them at any point?
I don't know them.
You don't know them?
I don't know them.
You don't know anything about them?
I don't know them.
Is that how it's supposed to be?
I don't know.
Okay. Can we, as a public, as the people of Cross River said that the key players that were coordinating that process failed.
If not, why would the wage bill go up? What I'm saying is that the wage bill should be coming down, because a lot of people have retired and are retiring. And I'm telling you that from the ongoing, it's not my position to say that.
Okay.
Let the exercise be concluded,
okay,
and we will see it. Already, we have started seeing feelers that some persons have been invited or were invited by the head of service. How come you receive salary, this, that, that? The head of service has not informed me of the outcome of his own investigation.
All right.
I will not now jump into it. That's why I felt that this media trial wouldn't have been necessary. We would have just maintained our calm and wait the process, for the process to be concluded. After that, anybody who has questions to answer, they would invite you.
Okay. All right, so thank you very much. It's been a very, very interesting engagement, thought-provoking, interactive with the former head of service of Cross River State. And of course, I've learned a whole lot. Like what we are doing, we are not wish hunting anybody. We are not discussing persons. We are tackling issues. And of course, we want to get to the, the bottom line of what is actually playing out in the way bill of Cross River State, because we want to see the governor do well. We want to see him succeed. That's why all hands are on deck to ensure that they help him. It is the people's government, and the people have a role to play, like I will always say. My name is Akwaji. So we'll get you other thought-provoking editions of the program where we give you other revelations as to what is playing out and what went wrong and how we can get it right. So be proactive and support the Senator Prince Basede, the two-leader administration, so that we can continue to move Cross River State forward. Bye-bye.